Hey guys, how's it going? In today's society, there's a lot of people that are trying to tell you what you should look for in a woman, what you should look for in a guy. And a lot of the advice, honestly, no offense, is terrible. A lot of people are telling you their ideal of what your partner should look like. And it comes from this fairy tale kind of belief, this belief of how relationships should be. That there's this need to have your partner, or that you should not have to deny somebody because mental disorders, because of narcissism, because of some kind of thing going wrong with them. And I completely disagree with this. If somebody's in a headspace like this where they're not in a place where they can actually care about the person they're dating, they shouldn't be dating, nobody should be dating them, you shouldn't settle for a person like this. And I'll say this too, if any of the things that I'm gonna say in this video, these red flags, line up with you too, it's something you honestly have to look at yourself. A lot of this stuff were things that I, in the past, had troubles with, either with women or myself, where I recognize this in me. Where I was dating a girl and I said, okay, look, you messed this up and you messed up in this way. And now I can see it in other people. If any of these line up with you, just work to fix them. All right, the first step is recognizing that you have a problem. And once you recognize you have the problem, then you can go about fixing it and finding a solution. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
Yeah, I flow like a river, I'm a big wave. And they say the kid is sick enough to spit AIDS, get paid.
Number one, narcissism and codependency. Now, narcissism is this need to push other people down so you feel higher. It comes from this idea that you are trying to win and other people are competitors. So what happens? You are constantly talking down to people. You're constantly trying to tell people how awesome you are. You're trying to pump yourself up. And it comes down to this idea that if somebody isn't feeding you back this reality of how awesome you are, if they are not being who you want them to be as a person, you punish them. It's selfish. It's a selfish way of being, and anybody in this kind of a mindset is not proper to date. Codependency. Now, codependency is actually one that a lot of you guys would say is a good thing. By society standards, you would think that this would be a great reason to date somebody. If somebody's codependent or they're very needy, the person's not going to cheat on you, they're going to be really loyal. I am actually going to be the first one to bust this myth. So a codependent, the problem with this is that this person needs you. It doesn't come from a place of them actually liking you and wanting what's best for you. They need you. And if it comes down to it where if they have to maybe give you a white lie because there's a small chance of you leaving them, they're going to give you the white lie. They're going to lie. They're going to do whatever it takes to keep you around, even if it's not in your own benefit. And anybody that's dating another person should be doing things to help out their partner because they truly love them. Not in a manipulative way, but in a way of true loving and caring. And if it came down to it where that person understood that being single or being away from each other, not being in a relationship was better for their partner, they would do it. And being a codependent is the opposite of this. It's a need to control, again, just like the narcissist. And what you'll actually find oftentimes too is narcissists attract codependents like crazy. And these two people are in this constant battle. And they're the most destructive, disgusting relationships you'll ever see. They're easily offended. If somebody's easily offended by things you say, let's say that you are trying to make a point or maybe making a joke, and the person gets offended, doesn't see the subtext of what you're saying, and instead gets offended, says, you can't say that. What happens? Now, at first, this doesn't seem like that bad. She's telling you that you shouldn't bully people, or you shouldn't say things that could hurt other people's feelings. Cool. But this is what's going to happen. They're going to keep constricting until you're in a verbal straitjacket. And there's only so many things that you can say that will follow the guidelines. You can't be yourself. You have to be this caricature of a person, this person that isn't real. If anybody gets easily offended, it's a red flag. Mental disorders. I'm sorry about this one, but sociopathy, bipolarism, these people are not worth dating. Don't try to fix them. Now, again, this is going to come down to where somebody's going to message me in the comments saying that I'm insensitive about this, that I should understand their situation. You have to understand if somebody's bipolar or they have some kind of mental disorder, again, this is going to be somebody that you can't have a real relationship with. Dark emotions not under control. Now, dark emotions are something that Tony Robbins talks a lot about. Everybody has their addictive emotion they're addicted to. For example, mine is depression, anxiety. I have really bad depression, anxiety. But the good thing is, though, is that I understand it, so now I can control it and work on it and fix it and sponge it up. But not everybody understands their dark emotions. I one time dated this girl who had a really big anger issue. And if she wasn't angry at me, she was angry at somebody in traffic, angry at somebody at work. She was angry about the government, and it started bleeding into me because emotions are contagious. I started getting angry. And she was constantly getting screaming battles with me. I was getting screaming battles back. She didn't have her dark emotions under control, and it created this toxic relationship. So look out for dark emotions. Self-lying. Now, self-lying is a common human trait, and some people have more of an ability to do it than others. It comes down to an understanding of self, intrapersonal intelligence. If you lack intrapersonal intelligence, oftentimes you will believe things that aren't true that in order to benefit you or benefit you in some way in life. This is a really common thing. So people have the ability to make an emotional decision, then back it up with logic. And they can create realities in their head that aren't real. And it's a legitimate trait. So the best liars are people that believe their own lies. So the better you get at lying, the better you get at self-lying and making believe of different situations, the better off of a manipulator you are. So if you sense that somebody is really good at self-lying, where they can believe the most craziest thing that obviously when you look at the facts doesn't make sense, this is a really bad thing because this person can turn this around on you so fast. I've heard a lot of stories of my really sweet friends where some girl would accuse them of doing something that they didn't do. And I'll put it this way. The ability to self-lie is actually one of the biggest problems in society today. And a girl that can self-lie, if she gets mad at you, she's going to key your car, cut your shit up. She's going to punch herself in the face and say that you hit her. I've seen this happen with clients in the past, and I've seen this happen with girls. I had a girl once that was faking a seizure on the floor to try to get me to stay in a relationship with her. I had it one time where this girl she convinced herself that she had to come to my place and that when I broke up with her, and then she had her tarot cards here, and she said I was stealing her tarot cards. So she called the cops and told me to come back to my place to give her tarot cards. And she was in the belief that this was a normal thing to do. She thought and believed 100% that I was stealing her tarot cards so that she could come to my place with the cops. People have an amazing ability to self-lie. And if somebody is doing this, you have to really be careful with these people. They're very manipulative, and these are the kind of people that are going to put you in jail for nothing. Trust me, if you see self-lying, do not date these people. It's very, very bad idea. It's an incredibly bad idea. Love languages. Now, love languages is actually one of the things that's more moldable in this. You just have to understand this. So my love language is physical touch. If I like somebody, I touch them a lot. I hug them, I kiss them, I show them physical affection. But not everybody's love language is physical touch. Some of them is gift giving, words of affirmation, things like this. If you guys want to look this up, it's called love languages. But if somebody has a different love language than you, and they're not giving you your love in the way that you're used to receiving it in, it's going to throw you off. And you have to understand this first and foremost. It's a lot easier just to date somebody that has the same love language as you, because when they show you love, you understand it. And you have to go through this logical bridge to understand that this person giving you a gift is him doing the same thing as being physical with you. But for a lot of you guys, this is something that I would be looking at personally if I were you guys. Look up your love language, figure it out, and see if the partner you're dating has the same love language. If they don't, then you have to understand that this is the person that's going to show love in a different way than you would. Victim mentality, again, another thing that is very toxic and is very prevalent nowadays. Everybody has victim mentality. Everybody's a victim of culture, a victim of this, or a victim of that. The problem though with victim mentality is that in order to keep the victim frame up, the victim narrative, something always has to be to blame. And again, like I said earlier, if there's nothing to blame, she's going to blame you. And if there's nothing to blame, they're going to blame you. They're going to say you're the fault. You're the reason that they're not succeeding in life or this is going on. They always need something to blame. Look out for people with victim mentality. Look for winner mentality. People that focus on things that they have control over in life, not things that they don't have control over. Empathy. Empathy, empathy, empathy. Does this person actually legitimately care about you? Does this person feel your emotions and really care about you as a person? Does this person look at you with loving eyes and actually being loving and not being dampened down, maybe suppressed? Again, there's different types of love types. So again, we talked about this codependency, but this is more the distant type of personality. So this is more the person that when you show them love, they run away. When you try to give them empathy, they run away. Anything but you not liking them will not be feasible. I've been around these kind of girls before and I've dated them. So if the more I hated these kind of girls, the more they would like me back. And this is not very healthy. Now, if you guys are like me, where you didn't come out the womb being perfect in relationships and, suffering in your own ways with love and giving people authentic relationships, this is probably something that's really tough for you. Just be relaxed and comfortable in a relationship. All right, but you got to work on it. Being relaxed and accepting love and knowing that you can be loved. All right. But if you're a distant love type or your person you're dating is a distant love type, and again, a codependent, which we already talked about this, but distant love type, and you sense the more you hate them, the more they like you, that cannot possibly go down as a good relationship. Don't date the person. Look for patterns of dating. Now, people follow narratives and they follow storylines, and I'll put it this way. If a person you're dating says that every one of their exes was an asshole, every one of their exes was cruel, every one of their exes was a bad person, either one, that person likes assholes, or two, that person is again in victim mentality, and that person needs somebody to blame. That person needs somewhere to put the emotions after they broke up. They could not look at themselves and be like, I was the one at fault. How can I improve this? Or how can I improve on the next one? Instead, they're like, nothing is wrong with me. The other person was 100% the fault. I don't like any of them. They're all terrible people. All right, guys, I hope this helped you out. This is something that took me a long time to figure out for myself. And I'll say this, for as good as I've been with girls in the past, finding somebody that I truly cared about and loved came down to me fixing myself ultimately. So if you guys are having issues with this, again, don't always point the finger at the other person. Look inward as well. All right, because I'll say this. If I never fixed myself, I would have never have drawn the people that I have to me. All right, you're a magnet, okay? You draw to you what you are. If you want something different out of life, you have to change yourself. All right, with that being said, peace.
Yeah, I flow like a river, I'm a big wave. And they say the kid is sick enough to spit AIDS. Get paid, leave a brother limping if he bitch made. Reaching for my trigger while I stick you with a switchblade. Real players never get played. Always getting bitches, I've been pimping since the 5th grade. Listen to the kid, he's just so vicious how he spits rage. Wishing you could diss somebody, rips it like a slip page. Yeah, see I spit it on a nightly. Got the kind of flow that's